You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.
Welcome back to the Standonitpod podcast. Thank you for joining us for episode 4. We bring you real conversations, analyzing and breaking down the game that we love, NBA, NFL, and sometimes other sports. And we're ready to do it, man. Thank you to all the subscribers, folks who've been supporting, following. We're trying to get those numbers up. So if this is your first time here, please click that subscribe button, man.
Man, please, y'all do that, man. If y'all watching this podcast and you're not subscribed or liking, commenting, I'm going to come find y'all. I know where y'all stay at, so come on.
And you don't want that. Right on. We're going to get right into it, kicking it off with the NBA offseason signings and trades. Tay, who have been some of the winners of the offseason in your eyes?
My winners I would like to touch on, starting first, would be the Rockets and the Nuggets and the Atlanta Hawks. I feel like those are the three teams that stood out to me. And I feel like starting with the Rockets, they got KD, of course. Me and Lil talked about it the last episode about him going to the Rockets, and they didn't give up a lot of their assets, which is a win in my opinion.
Right.
And then you also get Dorian Finney-Smith, a 3-and-D wing, to pair with, you got Ahmed Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. I think that's a good pickup. And I feel like the Rockets are poised to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference for sure. And then starting with Denver did a whole overhaul.
Yeah.
They're taking this series because Nikola Jokic didn't sign his contract extension that he was up for right now. So trying to wait and see what they're going to do with management. But they went out swinging. They got Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets in a trade.
Yep.
And they traded Michael Porter Jr. away for Cam Johnson. I like that move because he's a 3-and-D wing. And he's gonna get a lot of open spot up looks like MPJ did when he was with the Nuggets. And then you get Tim Hardaway Jr., another 3-and-D wing that could shoot threes, play defense, spot up shooter. That's a good pickup in my opinion. Then you bring back a fan favorite in Bruce Brown. I guess they're replacing Westbrook with him. He did good when they won the championship not too long ago. I think that's a good pickup. And then getting Valanciunas, a backup center, to give Jokic a rest, I think that's a good pickup.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. I think the Nuggets are thinking about how to beat OKC, how to match up with teams like Minnesota, and, other teams that step up and kind of arise in the season. I think they were a little one-dimensional last year.
For sure.
If you duck it down to Jokic and he ain't hitting, then really it was kind of score by committee, and there were games where it was tough to do that. They do got the young white kid, man, Christian
Brown.
Christian Brown, man. He's emerged as a scorer for them. So they got some pieces I know that they're building off of, but I think you bring in a Hardaway for some like a spark off the bench, Bruce Brown for the all the dirty work, and then Cam Johnson is going to be he's going to be a solid NBA player at some point. So I think the Nuggets are trying to build something that can last a little bit longer than where they currently are at, because that team that they were throwing out there at the end of last season looked like they were getting a little tired. Then the Hawks, I'm right there with you. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a athletic guy who's coming up in the league, scoring, defending well at a high level, and playing quality minutes last year. Definitely. With Minnesota, I think kind of gives him that edge, or at least that confidence edge, to be able to go into Atlanta and be able to produce. And then, they got Tingus Pingus as he was called on draft night. But Kristaps, I think, that'll give Trey like a real lob threat, and somebody who can add some scoring into the mix. I know they had Capella. Yep. They've had some bigs there who can't necessarily put it in the basket like that. So I think this will add a couple dimensions, man. Who were some losers?
Before I get to you, I just want to jump in what you said about the Hawks. I feel like the reason why I picked the Hawks, in my opinion, you guys, is like I said, me and Khalil talked last episode about all the teams that were facing injuries for, the Celtics and the Pacers and the Bucks. Now that Dame's out of there, but I feel like the Hawks got to go for it. The East is wide open, and I feel like Porzingis could help Trae Young with the pick and pop action. He likes to shoot a lot of threes. Trae Young is always top 2 in assists every year he plays, so I think that's a good pickup for them. But for the losers, you see I got repping my Lakers stuff today. That's one of the losers in my opinion. I can't be biased. So I just think the Lakers didn't do enough. I see we got DeAndre Ayton, that's cool or whatever, but he doesn't have he's not mature enough in my opinion. And I think he has the lack of discipline, and his motor is never running all the time. It's always hit or miss. He's always inconsistent, and I just don't like the move. I feel like I wanted another like athletic big. If we could have tried to get a Nick Claxton or something like that, but and then we just signed Marcus Smart. That's cool or whatever, but we still don't got enough defenders, in my opinion. When you trot out the floor with LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton. Like none of them is
chicken.
exactly. None of them are good defenders. Not even average defenders, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I just don't think we got better.
Austin Reeves be trying, man. He be trying.
He need to put some more bricks in his shorts or something. Play some more defense.
I agree, man. A loser that's not on here that I'll add, man, is the Wizards. I just think as an organization, I don't know what they're doing.
You don't like the moves?
I don't know what they're doing. Like it doesn't matter. Like okay, you're trying to get ultra young, but like.
You got OGs in there.
Last year, you got some OGs. You had Kyle Kuzma. You had Jordan Poole. You had my boy from Milwaukee, Chris Middleton. You had Marcus Smart in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of offload a lot of contracts. It makes me think about, like, who are they trying to keep on the team? And then, like, the young guys that are going to develop there, is it going to be the same thing where they spend some time there, they're not good, and they get shipped out?
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like the recipe for the same disaster that's been there for a minute. And I'm happy Jordan Poole is gone.
Yeah,
to say the least.
They got CJ McCollum on the Wizards. That's a nasty team,
brother. Yeah, CJ. I don't know. Ever since that new CBA, he's
the number one most hated in the NBA right now.
That
for sure.
And bro, just not he don't produce like he used to, and I think the type of player that he is, like. I don't think there's very much value in that type of player in the league anymore. Like an undersized 2 who's focused on scoring and can't really defend. Like, yes, he'll give you good games but how much investment, like the portion of your salary cap, how much is going to go to him? And if it's a lot or if that's substantial, like what's the makeup of your team going to be? Is he going to be the one taking 15, 20 shots? Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he's still a bucket, though. He's still a bucket.
Yeah, he's still a
defense, though.
He's still a bucket, but if you're there, you got Bilal. Like, you got some guys that you want to be taking those shots and that, like, you would want to have that volume. And he's not, I don't see CJ as, like, a winning player. He's a good guy, but I don't think that's, like, winning basketball anymore. And he's not as young and athletic as he used to be, so. That's that on the Wizards, man. The Warriors, we have been doing nothing. We've been sitting on our hands. Mike Dunleavy, please do something. Like, please do something. Please, we got all these cats, man. Get somebody off my team. I don't know who, but there's a lot of people, and I think if we look at some of the folks who are available in the offseason, we could have put some aggressive packages together to get a player we know is good. And we have a bunch of players we think are going to be good. And my
boy Pajemski.
I can't do shit with that while Steph is on my team. You know what I'm saying? So Pajemski is cool. It's not even hate to him, but I'm like, if the asking price for him is relatively high, then we need to sell now. I'm like, I don't see the point in like trying to wait it out to see if the value is going to go up because Steph is not getting younger.
Nope.
So I'm like, that's what we did with Moody. It's what we did with Kuminga. And at this point, I'm like, hey, man, look, if we know we can't get 20 a game out of you and you can't play well for a whole season, then let's get you gone and let's get somebody in here who can.
Kuminga ass don't even want to come back.
I mean, yeah, I think they should try to find a good fit for him somewhere else. I thought, man, a Herb Jones, like there's a couple guys out there that I'm like
that you
would have been good fits, and if we put something aggressive together, like those teams would have bit. But yeah, do something, man, do something. So. The Warriors are losers because they have literally been the only team to do nothing in the offseason.
No signings, no nothing.
No nothing. That's awful. Now we're going to play our favorite offseason game, Underpaid, Overpaid, or Just Right. We'll say a couple names. We may add a little context or sprinkle a little bit here and there if we feel like it, but we got about 9-10 guys. We'll name them, say the contract, the number of years, and the team that they signed with or extended on. And give them a rating. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. The first one, a bit controversial. Miles Turner, 4 years, $107 million to go play basketball for the Milwaukee Bucks.
I want to say Overpaid, and I'm not even saying particularly the player. I want to just say Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee is just throwing shit on the wall and hoping it stick because I think they're trying to do anything in their power not to lose Giannis. So you keep doing these signings, and just so you can stay above water, so Giannis don't be like, I want to trade and not like full on tank. But if you look at that roster, it's not competing for nothing.
No, it's not.
And I really think it did more damage for Indiana losing Miles Turner than it did for Milwaukee getting him. And
sure?
Let me just say it like this: Miles Turner, however bad he played in the finals, which he did, we talked about that last episode. I think for the culture and what he was doing for the Pacers,
the culture for sure.
That took a hit for them, and that was like one of their biggest rivals. The Bucks, they had a lot of serious.
Who else gonna build Legos in the locker room?
Right.
Nah, bro. Don't nobody give a fuck about Miles Turner. Hey, listen, okay? The Pacers will be fine. They can find another 7-footer to chuck up threes in a game they're going to lose. Miles Turner was a really good player for a long time, but I think we saw him in trade like rumors for the last like 7 years.
Forever.
And I think that's like a sign. Also, I think a lot of what he did is a little bit replaceable. The culture, no. Like, who he was for that team and that organization, no. But I'm like, you can find somebody else to block a couple shots, never dunk the ball, and shoot threes all the time.
Legos.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus Smart signs with the Lakers, 2 years, $11 million.
As I touched on earlier, I would say, I guess it's just right, but I really don't necessarily like the move because he's not the Marcus Smart of old. You know, he was a defensive player of the year not too long ago, but the Lakers just know they need defenders, so they try anything in their power to get one. So I just think it's a cool move or whatever, but they don't move the needle. Like, it's not gonna make us in the championship contenders or nothing. But it's a cool move, I guess.
Heard. I agree. Just right. Dame to the Trailblazers. This one comes as a little bit of a surprise, as
for sure.
You know, Oakland's finest went out
Shout
to
out
Milwaukee.
Dame, though.
Milwaukee's a hard place to be for anybody who is from a place with a lot of other people. No shade to Milwaukee at all. They actually got a lot of.
They got all the Tubi movies out there, though.
Wow. Yeah. They got a lot of black and brown folk out in Milwaukee. I know they be having a good time, but it was not a good time for my man Dame. He heads back to his old home for 3 years, $42 million. And get this, he is getting paid out the rest of his contract yearly. I think he had 2 years left.
He's going to be making $70 million a year now.
Yeah. So around $50 million, he'll get paid from Milwaukee, and Milwaukee is paying him not to play. So we talk about stupid organizations or losers. I just think that might be a bad financial decision.
What I was saying.
But Dame is locked in. I think he took an opportunity to cash in. This is a massive overpay. But I think in this situation, if you're the Trailblazers, I think you cling to something that gets you closer to success. You got a lot of young players, and I think getting a leader back in that locker room and somebody who really knows how to win in Portland, like, that's an important thing. So it is an overpay. He did just tear his Achilles. This is, like, not the average annual salary as an overpay, but given what he is going to earn from Milwaukee, I don't think a team needed to do this at all. So, good move, good look. But
I just want to say one thing. I feel like, in my opinion, I just think Dame never wanted to leave. I feel like Dame probably got, like, a little – I'm not trying to say he's a grown man at the end of the day, but I feel like he probably got a little pressure about winning the ring. You know, ring culture is at its highest. And, you know, people were saying he needed a ring, and I feel like he tried it. It didn't work out, but Portland was always like a second home to Dame. So him going back, he probably wanted to do that. I know he had rumblings. Your team wanted them, the Celtics wanted them, but he chose to go back to Portland. So, and I think Portland is trying to be very competitive. They still got Drew Holiday from the Ant Simons trade.
Dude, they play hard too.
Yeah,
like, that team plays hard as hell.
Shout out to Dame, man. He want to go back to where it all started. I respect it, and I hope he get well soon.
And this is like that plug. This is the Chauncey Connect. Getting him to come back and, like, mend that ties and, like, seeing how it's gonna work, like being able to do that with a coach like Chauncey Billups. I know was a good process and conversation for him to have. DeAndre Ayton 2 for 16 with the Lakers.
I think it's just right because shit. The Blazers is paying the whole of his contract. Yeah. They got him out of there, so we ain't really paying him that much. So it's a cool for him. I'd say he's a little bit above average center. He's not an average center, but he's cool. He'll give you like 14 and 10, but it's okay. It's just right, in my opinion.
that he is an average center, and I think that is with respect to him. I think the tough thing here is like the stories you hear about his character. I wouldn't pay $8 million for the stories that came out about DeAndre Ayton, but I think for where he's
Stand on
at
it
for
that
his
night.
stats, 2 for 16 is just right. I wouldn't call it an overpay. I think this fits a slot on your roster. Yeah, I don't think he's too great. I also think the Lakers swung and missed here, but we'll see. You get a guy with LeBron, and things may change. Duncan Robinson to the Pistons, 3 for 48. This is an overpay, but this is a great move. Like, this is an overpay.
Overpay.
For sure. You don't pay Duncan Robinson $48 million for anything.
They gave Jimmy Neutron $48 million.
Yeah,
damn.
that's a lot of money. And he's had some ups and down years, and his down years are like
Really
down.
bad.
They're really down. So, I mean, I think it's a good move in terms of the culture, like what they're getting as a shooter, a 3-and-D player. He's going to help that team out a lot. I think they just lost, what's his name? The shooter.
Malik Beasley.
Yeah. He definitely ain't playing. So they had to replace that. So the overpay, they were in need of it. They were going to probably overpay no matter who that person was. But I think that's going to help that young cast grow and just have somebody to be in the corner chucking up threes.
I agree.
Herb Jones, 5 years, $97 million to stay in New Orleans. Overpay, underpay, or just right?
I actually think he's underpaid, and I think Herb Jones is one of the best defenders in the league, and he adds so much value by playing defense. He can shoot a little bit, little 3-pointers, corner threes, or whatever. But he really can lock up, really lock up. I didn't see him lock up.
Yeah, he could ball, man.
So I think it's actually underpaid, but he's
one
of the best defenders in the league. So I say underpaid for sure.
I wanted the Warriors to go get him, so I would have gave up shit. I'd have been like, y'all could take Trace Jackson Davis, y'all could take Pajemski and Guy Santos and a draft pick. Give me Herb Jones. So I'm like,
player.
I definitely think whatever we would have given them in value would have been more than 97 for 4 years, or for 5 years. But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. This is an underpay. I think you invest in players like this. The next player we're going to talk about got a significant investment, but I think Herb Jones is one of those where I'm like, next year, 2 years, you're looking at like a solid NBA veteran that you would want on any team.
For sure.
Jalen Williams, 5 years, $287 million. First of all, they backed up the truck for a couple of these guys. 5 years, $287 million to stay in OKC. Overpay, underpay, and this is the max, or just right?
I'm going to say just right, and here's why. I think this is the market that he's in. I mean, he's an all-star. He made an all-NBA team. He played a hell of a final series.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to reward him for that, because if he didn't do any of that, shit, if OKC would have probably lost again in the second round like they did last year to Dallas, I think they would have tried to trade one of them. Because it's like, you know what I mean? But he stepped up and he did what he was supposed to. So they got reward. You got to reward your players. So I say just right.
I'm with it. I think this is like the Jaylen Brown deal. Makes sense. I think it tracks. Second best player on the team, championship team.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen is good, man. He's gotten better every year. And he's like gotten significantly more comfortable as an NBA player every year. So like you would bank on like he's going to continue to grow and get better as a small forward in the league. Next, we got Devin Booker, 2 years, $145 million to stay. That's a lot of money. 2 years, $145 million to stay in Phoenix, and this is an extension.
I'm gonna say just right for him. I think here's why. I think he didn't take a longer deal because I feel like he gonna see where it goes. Even though Phoenix's future is real dim,
It's looking bleak.
I think it's nothing they're gonna do to get better, but especially with that trade package, you could have got one of the young bulls in the trade for KD, but y'all didn't. But I think it's just right for him. I think he's trying to stay loyal to his team. He's not trying to move teams, and that's cool. So I guess they're rewarding him for that. I love loyalty, you know what I mean? So
right.
I respect it. So if he want to keep being the son as long as he wants to, keep doing it. So I'm going to say just right, in my opinion.
Hey, if a team is willing to make you a top 3 paid player in the league, you take the opportunity. He's in Arizona. I don't know what the tax hit in Arizona is. It might not be the same as Texas in terms of giving you all your money, and it definitely ain't the same as California in
I don't
terms of
like
taking all your money.
we don't. Hey, I don't like Arizona. They don't celebrate Martin Luther King, so forget them.
Oh yeah, hey, fuck Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for other reasons, but
Yeah.
also,
I'm sorry, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.
Devin Booker willing. Yeah, look, 2 years, I'm with you. It works for him. I don't know if there's any options in this deal. I haven't looked. You're hilarious. But $72.5 million a season. Yeah, I would do that in Charlotte. It didn't matter who offered me that money. I would take it. So great deal if your name is Devin Booker. Chet Holmgren. This one, 5 for $250 to stay.
I'm gonna say overpaid. I think Chet hasn't really proved that much yet. He's kind of injury prone. It really is injury prone.
Yeah.
Shit, he was out for a lot of games because he fell on his hip. That sounds like some old people shit. But
Well, he's scrawny, bro.
nah, he needs some damn life alert. I've fallen and I can't get up. So I think that's an overpay in my opinion. I think he got to prove himself some more. He's still young though. He can get better. But right now, in my opinion, I think it's an overpay.
Bro, when he plays against the Joker, bro, it looks like he's Nicola's skeleton. Like his skeleton jumped out his body and started hooping with him. Bro, his skin and bones, man. $50 million a season is a lot for this guy. Like that's a lot of money, and I don't think we've seen any type of like peak from Chet's game. Now I'm saying this as a Warriors fan. I watched him twice hit a 3 to send games to overtime or win the game. I've seen it twice. Great player, but I don't know in terms of durability.
Mm-hmm.
How he showed up in the moment in the finals. I mean, there were just lulls. I'm like, $50 million for a dude who's not taking up a bulk of shots on your offense, a high volume on offense, isn't demanding a lot from a defense. He blocks shots, yes, but the interior presence because of his build, I'm like, he would struggle against the next guy that we're gonna name. So it's a lot of money in terms of OKC. You have to pay these guys now to keep them. And the truth is, if you want this window to really stay open as long as possible, you pay them the max. And so, yeah, I mean, they maxed out for all their guys. And I think this is the only way that they wanted to kind of keep them together for 5 years. But I'm like, yeah, we're going to either have to see his efficiency go up or he gains like 25 pounds or something like that, 35 pounds. Because otherwise, he's going to keep dealing with injuries or keep phasing out of the offense in certain parts of the game. And a $50 million player is not phased out of the offense. You're not chilling in the third quarter.
No, he can't.
In the short corner. That's not
option
happening.
for $50 million. Jesus.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Paolo, 5 for $287. This was max in his position.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this is underpaid. Not calling him like a $70 million, $80 million player. I'm saying what he does for his team and the amount of like potential and like what we see from them. I'm like, shit, most of that is what we're betting on that guy to do.
Right. I'm gonna agree with you. I think Paolo, his potential is gonna skyrocket, especially this season. They got him more help, and he has a chance to be a top 3 player in that conference for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
think, and they got a chance to be contenders, like I said. So like we talked last episode. So I think it's good for him. And shoot, this is not gonna be his last contract, so he could definitely get more when it's time to re-up again.
Real quick, my boy needs to stop. Like, what the fuck does he keep shooting 17-foot jumpers for? Like, that's his favorite shit to do. Like he's
good
KD.
at it. He good at it.
Well, you're 255 pounds. If you don't drive, like he could literally just drive, get to the line like 9 times a game just because he's driving and getting guys out the way.
Hopefully he's working on that in the summer.
Yeah, I think if he need to have that conversation with Melo, like where they were talking about breaking up, how do you get your 30 points a night and breaking that up? Because I'm like, he'd be like, listen, brother, you're huge. Stop chucking all these shots, man.
Yeah.
You could average 35 if you really tried to. Yeah, that first series looked good. And I think if you watch Orlando during the season, you're like, man, some of the things that killed them were like some of the things
he was playing great before he got hurt.
Well, yeah, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Because, I mean, that whole team was starting to get hurt as well. But I think, yeah, his maturity, his game IQ, the more that continues to take steps, he's just going to unlock. I mean, and that's what they're betting on. He's just going to unlock kind of a potential for himself in that team.
For sure.
But yeah, that motherfucker, he like to just chuck threes and do step back jumpers. And I don't get it, especially at 250. A couple of trades, man. The one that I like that we're gonna talk about, the Heat get Norman Powell, but the Clippers get John Collins. The Jazz are involved in this mix, getting Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 second round from the Clippers. But talk to me a little bit about Norman Powell's year last year. We know he kind of overperformed, maybe worked his way into a contract with the Heat. And then the Clippers getting John Collins, knowing they got Bogdanovich, they got Kawhi,
and they just got Bradley Beal.
They got some pieces, and now they have a 4-man. What do you think about this trade?
Starting with Norman Powell, I feel like it ran its course. I know he was there for he was there for a couple years for sure. I just think he needed to change the scenery. He had a bad playoff series against the Nuggets, so that kind of messed up his reason probably why the Clippers wanted to move off from him, because they were saying he should have been an All-Star. So
and then right after that, they took his shots. Well, his shots started to go down.
Right. So I just think he needed to change the scenery, and they kind of replaced him for Bradley Beal. So we're gonna see how that works out. John Collins is cool. He can shoot threes. He's very athletic. He's going to catch a lot of lobs from James Harden for sure. I can see that.
That 2-man game
in the pick and roll, I can see that a lot happening. So I like the pickup.
Yeah, I think this trade was interesting. I think about like where both teams ended last year and the Heat and like all of the negative momentum, the bad energy, the whole nine. I think you get a guy who's looking to have more volume, looking to take shots. Norman Powell is kind of like that spark plug type cat where it'll get hot. And they need that. Like the Heat, that's a good basketball franchise, and I don't think they should be bad. Like there's no moments where they should be bad, or like a bottom feeder team in the league. I think that's bad for the league.
And who they remind me of? Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Like an NFL franchise, they remind me of the Steelers. They just in
a way,
well-run organization. They're not going to tank. They don't believe in tanking. So that's what they remind me of.
I do think Norman Powell will bring a little bit of that consistency just from he's going to put up some points. He's going to take shots, like take a little bit off of Tyler Hero, because I don't think he is one of them like guys for real. He's good, but he ain't. Tyler Hero is not the guy you put in your franchise. You putting your franchise on. And then get Bam some help too. I love Bam, and if we could do something to get Bam over here in Golden State, like I don't know what we need to do. Do we need to buy Asia Wilson a house or something? Try to get Bam over here.
Hey, Mike Dunleavy, help, please,
make it happen.
Help.
Send them everybody. Like get everybody. But I'm a Heat fan. Not like that, but I just enjoy when that team is good. The Clippers getting John Collins is huge, just for that reason. That's exactly what I was going to say. The 2-man game between him and
Harden.
Harden is going to be nuts, and I think Harden works well with good 4s and 5s, man, and I think that team,
a lot of lobs for sure.
I'm not a Laker fan. I'm sitting next to one, so when the Clippers are good, it does make me feel good because they get to beat up on the Lakers a couple times a year.
Them are little brothers. It's okay.
But that's a wrap for some of the off-season updates and us tapping in with the trades and some of the free agency moments. Right on, y'all. For this next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL, touch on a couple quarterbacks and quarterback tiers. So I'm going to pass it to my guy, Tay.
Yeah, as y'all know, we had a post on our Instagram page, courtesy of me. I did a QB rankings of tiers, and it'll be posted. You guys will see it on the screen. So we're just going to talk about it and what do we like about the list or what will we change. So go ahead, brother.
All good. Starting in that big 4, you got Mahomes, Lamar. We got Josh Allen in there. We got Joe Burrow. His tier 2. Which I think at this point we're exactly the same. I split up this tier, but it's all the same quarterback. So Jalen Hurts is in there. Brett's got a ring. I think the leadership, the IQ, his ability to kind of decipher plays at the line of scrimmage. I think he's just a lot of the things you would ask for out of a quarterback, and he got him to the victory lane. So I think you got to have him up there. Stafford, obviously a winner, one of the best throwers of the ball that we've seen ever. Jaden Daniels, man, I think he's got the most potential that we've seen out of any young cat coming into the league for a long time, man. So I think a lot of these guys in this high tier and big 4 and tier 2, I think deserve to be there. The next 4 or the next 5 guys, I think you talk about CJ, Baker, Goff, Herbert, Brock, whether it's the body of work and like the resume, like what they've done, or like arm talent and how good they are, like the greatest like of plays that we've seen them make. I think Justin Herbert, we've had this conversation just about how good he is individually, but also like what his impact on winning looks like. And that's gone up and down in a couple of seasons. So, I think tier 2 is solid. There's a couple areas where you know we can have some conversation, but we got the same guys in the same places. Um, and then I think from your list, where do you expect the guys on the bottom to like do better or fall? Like these tier 3 or average guys that we're looking at, where could you find guys that like, all right, he's probably gonna perform better, or this guy's going downhill?
So to talk about the tier 3, I feel like it's for one quarterback in particular. I think it's a big year for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He's been not really talked about as much. He had a lot of hype coming in when he first got drafted. You know, he had won the Heisman. He got drafted in the first round by one of my favorite baseball teams, the Oakland A's, or they're not Oakland no more, but you know what
We
it
gonna
is.
call him that.
Yeah, so it's a make or break year in my opinion for him because I feel like if he has a bad year, I think they might ship him out of there. So he has a chance to prove himself. And then from the average tier, a lot of the reasons why I had the average tier for the rookie quarterbacks like Caleb, Michael Penix, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy is because like you guys still unproven. So I had you guys at average just to see where you guys want to do. You guys got potential, but potential don't mean nothing if you don't do nothing with it. So I can see, in my opinion, I think Bryce Young might have a good year. I
Yep.
like the weapons that he got, so I'll see him. He can make that jump to being in another tier if he doesn't have a good season.
I think the same thing about a Caleb. You know what I'm saying? I think Bryce, Caleb, dude. If JJ, I don't. There are some like reports coming out on JJ and some of the things people are saying. I haven't seen it, but apparently, Cat's looking good, and there's a lot of confidence for him to do well this year. I think these young guys, they have the biggest and best case to like move up this list to perform this year.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 years, last year for the Panthers, the last 4 games, excuse me, last year for the Panthers. I mean, them cats were like,
He was looking promising.
they were trying to end some seasons. Like they
Yep.
were trying to like make sure people couldn't get into the playoffs. I just thought it was dope, but he was looking good. So, there are a couple guys in this average tier that either are young or have been bad in the past, and we're kind of looking to see them grow out of it. I think these rookies, I don't know, like for the full year, if they're gonna get a whole year, like a Shador.
playing
I don't know
time.
if he's gonna get a whole year of playing time.
should.
So
Hopefully.
he definitely should. I think the Saints QB, whoever it is, would be at the bottom of these tiers. I think on the list that I created, the bottom tier has the Saints QB on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this list is good. I think there's only probably one area where we disagree, and it's not that big of a disagreement. But yeah, I think your list looks good. I think the areas where I kind of would draw a distinction are with the big 4.
Mhm.
I think it's a big 3, and this isn't to take away from Joe Burrow. I do think, at some point in his career, he will be considered a big 4 quarterback. I just don't think that point is like right now. I think the promise that we've seen, similar to other quarterbacks in these tiers, incredibly promising. And there are moments where it's like this cat is great. You do have to sustain that, and that can't just be one time. Like that one good season that you had with the one. At that point, we do consider team success because there are cats on here. Like Stafford wouldn't have scratched top 10 conversations for years in Detroit, right? But hold on. So I say this to say, like, the big 3 to me, like I said in the other pod, are the 3 guys that like change the game completely. Like, and I mean physically change the game with their IQ, their ability to break down the game, break down defenses. Joe Burrow does have that, but to me, he'll need to sustain that with his team in order to be a big 4 quarterback. And I think the 3 quarterbacks that are up there do that more often, more frequently, and there's more promise for them to do that this year.
So I have a big 4 because none of the other quarterbacks from the other tiers I would take over them. So you saying you would take any one of those quarterbacks from the other tiers over Joe Burrow?
So I want to pause because we did our top 5s, and my top 5, I actually included last year's Rookie of the Year in my top 5 for that reason. Like, yes, he's a rookie. Yes, there's limited tape on him, but I'm speaking theoretically, right? Like, if this cat wasn't a rookie, and if we have more body of work where he's doing things that he did in year 1 continuously, I actually would have no problem like telling you I would choose Jaden Daniels over Joe Burrow in a heartbeat if we watch the tape, if we see what we saw last year. Absolutely.
Is this tape better than Joe Burrow's last year? No.
Dude, it's not about. But for me, I'm like, when we talk about dynamic players, I can make a decision. I can make a decision on that, right? Like, we could sit and talk about why Lamar is so good, but a lot of that tape is going to be him running the football.
Bro, but you said no, it wouldn't just be running the football. No.
A good amount of that tape is him running the football.
No, he had 41 passing touchdowns.
That doesn't mean so. Don't do this. That doesn't mean him running the football doesn't add to the value he brings.
No, he got value with that, but don't just act like he's not throwing the ball though. That's what I'm saying.
And even more so to his credit. More so to his credit. That's the point.
We're not even talking about Lamar. That's my boy. But let's go back to what you just said.
The Joe thing. The Joe thing.
You said you would take Jaden Daniels over Joe Burrow.
No, I'm saying theoretically.
No, fuck that. No, I'm asking
you. No, then the answer is no. Like, do I take this player from just based off last year?
Okay, how about this? Let's do another hypothetical.
Okay.
Say if Jaden Daniels have another season, he don't got to go back to the NFC Championship
game,
but he go to the playoffs and have a good season.
And if
Joe Burrow have a good season but don't go to the playoffs, what you doing?
Oh, you mean like, am I going to rank him above Joe Burrow? No, that's not. That's not how that works to me.
So then, why we can't have a big 4 then? Why we can't have a big 4 then? Because you're not taking no other quarterback over none of those 4. I just
no. In that theoretical, he only has one more season. Like, we've seen 2 full seasons. It's the same thing with C.J. Stroud, a great quarterback. We've only seen 2 full seasons. In the next 2 years, he could beat the Eagles and go to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And that would be that big thing, similar to Joe Burrow, that everybody's like, man, he beat Mahomes and went to the Super Bowl, and we all sing that. You have to have an opportunity for that to happen before we do that. So, no, I wouldn't, after his rookie year, be like, this guy is better than this guy. And the guy we're talking about can flip it. This is my thing. I'm not disrespecting Joe Burrow. If we were to take Joe Burrow out the big 3, my thing is he stands alone amongst all of these quarterbacks. So why he can't be in big 4 then? Because, man, I don't, from what I've seen and from what we continue to see, I think when it's about, like, roll a guy out there and go win you a season, sometimes – like, hey, look, man, I'm sorry the situation ain't perfect. But I think if you gave Mahomes, if you gave Lamar Jackson, and if you gave Josh Allen less than perfect situations and circumstances, they would do a better job than he's done. So him
taking them to the Super Bowl wasn't a less perfect situation?
No. You're naming the year that everything wasn't bad. Everything wasn't terrible that year. Don't do that. That defense wasn't garbage that year. It wasn't garbage that year. It's garbage now. It's garbage now. But there were some good conditions that year.
So why you act like Joe Burrow just had a loser record last year or something? Like,
I'm not.
Because he
was fantastic last year.
My thing is that
I don't think you're understanding the reason why I place more value on some of the things that are either intangible or they come with you physically. Like, what Lamar Jackson is capable of doing physically, to me, makes him far more valuable than any quarterback on the list, given what he can do.
Okay, I ain't gonna disagree with that.
If you're a little limited in that, then you can literally do less. Like, you have less options. When they line up and they're at the 15, and they line up and it's 1 minute to go, you got 3 plays to get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 quarterbacks that I'm looking at that I have tape, hella games of them using their body to get in the end zone as a skill set. Not even like, not the cop out, not the tush push with Jalen Hurts. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. I'm talking about like next level, jumping over cats, running through cats, spinning around cats. To me, that adds a level of value that other guys just can't add. And this is why I was bringing up Purdy and Goff, was because like they can't do none of that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so guys are last year when they were talking about the game manager shit, or 2 years ago, they were like, a game manager is blank.
And you said?
No. And people are talking about, well, Brock Purdy isn't a game. I'm like, well, I love Brock Purdy, but that's as game manager as it gets. And he gets outside of the game plan, but that's as game manager as it gets. Yeah. He can't throw it 80 yards. Yeah. He can't run a 4 flat. He can't, so he has to manage the game, right? And I'm not calling Joe Burrow a game manager either. It's not what I'm saying. But because you're not 6'4", 235, you don't come with a level of like an added dimension to your game. You also have less durability.
So
and because you can't run a 4 flat.
So why he don't get the satisfaction of going to the Super Bowl? Because
he does.
Because
you got him in your big 4. He ain't won. He hasn't won shit. And everybody's been in my comments like he's a Super Bowl MVP. The truth is, he's not a Super Bowl MVP. They didn't win the Super Bowl, so there isn't the same outcry or far cry people could have about Burrow or they could have about Allen. They choose to have about Lamar.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's the only Lamar. I love Lamar.
No, I know this is the point you were saying earlier though.
Lamar Allen ain't went to the Super Bowl.
No, but to your, this is what I asked you earlier. Why do people rank Lamar so highly if he's never been to the Super Bowl? Because
he do stuff with less. Is what I'm saying.
And that is my point. And that is the thing to me. Why it's like, yeah, if I was starting a team, I would choose Lamar over Burrow any 10 out of 10 days of the week. Because I'm like, shit, we could run past you. At the end of the day, we could call hike and he could just run past your whole defense. I don't think there's many other quarterbacks in the league who can do that. And that's a different class. Joe Burrow is the best in the league at throwing the ball, which is why I'm like, it's not a disrespect to him. His balls, they're like, and pause. Let me stop. His throws, his deep ball, his mid game, all of it is the best in the league. Like that is the standard. Okay. It's the gold standard. It's like Stafford, right? Mm-hmm. Stafford's a little older now, so I've transitioned that to him. But I'm like, dude, he doesn't. How much more can he do? How much can he compensate for the team not being able to do? If the team can't do this shit, Josh Allen goes, fuck it, I got it. I'll jump over. I'll kick him in the face, go through the line. And sometimes it's to his demise. Like it's a bad decision. But that's what you rock with when you have that option.
I just think you're a little hard on Burrow, bro.
No, I would agree. I would agree. It's a hard critique. It's a hard critique.
You know why?
But he's hurt, brother.
I know why.
And he's not available.
You know why I think that you do that though is because his supporting cast on the offensive end. You say Jamar Chase is one of the best receivers in the league.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up.
He's top 2 receiver, if not 2. But I got Jay Jett as number 1.
I wasn't gonna bring that up though, because you're right. Everybody needs help. Everybody who does anything, like Pat plays with Travis Kelce. He's one of the greatest route runners. He don't even be running routes. He just be feeling out where the defense isn't. And we don't like give him like that's big to have that for your whole career, right? We don't give him that. But I agree. It is hard. I am hard on him, but I'm like, if we're ranking guys and creating a tier, I'm gonna put the guys that I feel like no matter what are gonna go out there. 1, be available. 2, if you're a defensive coordinator, you don't know what to do against those 3. To be honest, you have a pretty clear idea of what Joe Burrow is going to do. He's going to toss the fucking rock. Yeah. He's going to do it really, really well. I'm not saying it's an easy day to stop him, but you know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, Standonitpod podcast viewers and members, we're going to get into that more. But if I was to ask you one last thing before we wrap it up, give me a top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Or even if you want to do heading into
That's good. Heading into the season is a little funny because I'm like a lot of guys had good years last year. Sure. My top 4 is the same. It's Mahomes, it's Lamar, it's Allen, it's Burrow in that order. Okay. And then that 5 spot rotates. I mean, it hurts one a chip, so I could understand. Like I could understand you throwing them in there. To me, like Stafford was right there last year, and like the momentum he had like no touchdown passes in the first 6 weeks and ended top 10, top 15 in touchdown passes. Jaden Daniels was amazing last year.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Jared Goff had great moments last year. So,
I
think that last spot kind of rotates.
Me and you got no complaints on like I said, the big 4. I would have, not Lamar. I have Patrick Mahomes 1, Lamar 2, Josh Allen 3, Joe Burrow 4, and then I'll have Jalen Hurts 5.
Nice.
I respect him going to win a Super Bowl. His team is always in the playoffs every year, and he outplayed the best quarterback in the NFL in 2 Super Bowls now. Yeah. So I'll give him his respect, and I'll put him 5. And then honorable mention, I had, like you said, Stafford, Jaden Daniels, and also C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to have people say he had a sophomore slump, so I think he's going to have a bounce
real quick,
back year.
I'm going to just speak on that, though. Like, and this is why I'm saying, like, you got to watch the tape. Like, one, his team dealt with injuries. That offensive line went through it. His receivers were, like, depleted for the whole year and up and down. And so to watch what he did, still make it to the playoffs, to still kind of throw for relatively great numbers, that's a hell of a sophomore slump, if we're calling that a sophomore slump.
Yeah, he still won the playoff game too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, other people saying he has sophomore slump. I think he's gonna bounce back from if he really did or not. And I think he's gonna get better. So
he's a next level. He's like 7 or 8 on my list. Like, he's a next level QB
mine too.
Who could take that step.
One last thing too, guys, before we wrap this up. We know that this guy right here don't like Joe Burrow, so if y'all want to kill him in the comments again, y'all could send me
your thoughts. Send me your thoughts, man. We didn't get into the Allen versus Burrow shit today, but we will at some point. Next pod, we're gonna talk a lot about what the season has in store. Give y'all a couple of awards predictions. Give our schedule predictions as well. We appreciate y'all for rocking with this pod, man. We're gonna outro it with songs of the day. What's your song of the day?
My song of the day is "Even Though What We Do Is Wrong, Wrong." Shout out Freeway. That's my song of the day. What about you, brother?
Right on. My song is a Young Gifted and Black alum, Ajay Qasim, Timeless Gems, a new tape he dropped probably a month ago now.
Go cop
that, man. We want to shout out Kingmakers of Oakland for the space. We want to shout out our videographer Cam.
Shout out Cam,
behind the scenes. But y'all, that's a wrap for episode 4. Rock with us on all social media platforms.
Standonitpod _ Instagram. Then Twitter will be Standonitpod as well. TikTok is Standonit Podcast. And YouTube, you guys type in Standonit Podcast 510. Check us all out. Predictions week will be next episode 5, a milestone for us. So tune in for that. We appreciate all the support.
That's a wrap. Appreciate y'all.
You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.